Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Okay,
I feel
let's
like
get
it's like
you
Monday.
what?
I said I feel like it should be Monday.
It does feel like a Monday. Always technical difficulties around here, but 7 minutes, not too bad.
Hey,
Not too
I
bad.
have a camera today.
Yeah, not on your phone. So that's exciting. Okay, my name is Jennifer, and I am a nutrition coach at Bandit CrossFit. And this is Dina. Dina's also a nutrition coach at Bandit. We're excited you are here. We're going to dive into our top tips when it comes to saving time with meal prepping.
Which we all need.
Mm-hmm.
At Bandit CrossFit, we partnered with Healthiest Nutrition to support our client choosing a framework that's guided, tested, and proven. We believe that something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. But we know that helping you become the best and healthiest version of yourself isn't just about what you eat or going to the gym a few hours of the week. We must focus on a holistic approach addressing nutrition, sleep, stress management, mindset, your support system, and your lifestyle.
Healthy Steps Nutrition has helped over 45,000 people all around the world take control of their health. Here are just a couple of their success stories. If you're looking to create your own success story, while we know that this is simple, it is far from easy. Meal prepping, though, is a great way to stay on track, even when you are busy throughout the week, which is why we are going to discuss our top tips to help you start meal prepping like a pro. Because I don't know two people that are much busier than Dina and I. And I'm sure there's people out there, but we're still getting it done. So we want to share our tips with y'all today.
It's no secret that meal prep is a valuable skill to have when it comes to achieving your goals and living a healthy life. But we understand that while it can be simple, it is far from easy. Have you ever gone a long day at work to get home and realize that you don't have food to cook, or maybe you didn't lay that meat to thaw out? What a letdown. This may be the last thing you want to deal with, so we're going to shift our plan to ordering out. This food will likely not align as nicely with your goals, and it's going to cost you extra money. I'm sure we can all identify with a recent night like that.
Yeah, or putting everything in the crock pot and forgetting to turn it on.
Oh my God, I did that one day and I forgot to plug it in.
Been there, done that.
Here is another scenario. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Are we there?
Yeah.
Okay. Tip number one is to block out time right after going to the grocery store. To the grocery store plus a little bit of extra time. Blocking out time right after grocery shopping is a great way to create an efficient schedule. What does this look like exactly? Well, if you plan on grocery shopping, ideally on the same day each week, take time to ensure you have an hour or so when you get back so that you can pre-wash and cut items. You can organize your fridge and your pantry for success. You can prep anything that's really quick and even complete maybe some staple meals to make the rest of your week easier. Don't worry, we're going to dial into the tips of that, the details of that later. To make this tip easier, you also want to block out some time before you're shopping to write out an organized list to save you time in the store and to keep you on track. So kind of, your route through the grocery store, make sure that your list is made in that order. And then you decrease the likelihood of frustration by forgetting a crucial ingredient for a recipe you were planning on making. Also, a big tip, use the grocery pickup because everybody has it around here, or grocery delivery. Walmart has pickup, Rouse's has pickup, but they're complicated, but they'll deliver your groceries. And it's not too terrible if you live in town, unlike I don't live in town.
I know.
But my mom's house is in their route, and so is the gym. So that works too. Dina, tell us about writing out a list.
So when you're getting ready for the store, we recommend writing out a list that is organized by grocery store areas, which is really helpful. So you get everything that you need when you're in like that one little area, and shopping the perimeter of the store is really, really helpful. So examples would be, you would write out all your proteins, you would write out all your fruits and vegetables, and then your other miscellaneous items like your grains, your snacks, your beverages. A great rule of thumb when thinking about the grocery store is to stay on the perimeter for your best whole food options and less highly processed foods. Once you write out your list and go shopping with those tips in mind, we want to spend the next few hours getting ourselves set up for the week.
Absolutely. Tip number 2 is to pre-wash and chop your vegetables and your fruits. Big difference. Also makes you more likely to eat them if they're already ready to go. When it comes to achieving your health and wellness goals, odds are you will want to eat more fruits and vegetables in your diet. To make this convenient, take the time after shopping to pre-wash and even fully prepare them so they are always easy to grab and go items. This will make it more likely that we increase our consumption throughout the week. Because when you're hungry, nobody wants to get out celery and wash it down and cut off those weird ends and then chop it up, because then you're out of time to even eat your snack. After you get home from the store, put everything in its place, but keep your produce out on the counter or near the sink. Once you're ready, take the time to wash all of your produce and get ready to slice and chop them so they are ready to eat when needed. I love getting home and chopping up half of my bell peppers into slices and then placing them in Ziploc bags or containers for easy snacks. I do the same thing like with my kids' fruit for the week, because they take fruit in their lunches every day. I go ahead and wash blackberries, raspberries, grapes, and I get out, I'm terrible, Ziploc bags, except for raspberries can't go in Ziploc bags because they turn to smosh. I forgot to put them in a container this week for Charlotte, and she brought them home and they were like, she was like, nobody wants to eat this mush, Mom. I guess not. But I go ahead. And so then when it's packing lunches, it's super easy too. I just divide out everything that they're going to eat for the week. I lost my track, y'all. Chopping up all of your broccoli into sizes that you do when you cook them. I don't know if y'all are like me, but I buy the bags of the pre-cut broccoli, but there's still too much stalk on them. So I still take every individual piece of broccoli and cut more stalks off. But you go ahead and do that ahead of time and just put them in a Ziploc bag or a big container. It's so much quicker when you go to cook them because you take out that time of chopping them up. Washing your berries and placing them into a container with a paper towel, that makes a big difference too, so that it absorbs some of that water and your fruit doesn't get, or your berries don't get soggy, aka what happened to Charlotte yesterday.
I'm putting my strawberries and my blueberries just in one big container because I eat them with breakfast every morning, and it's so much easier just to put them together.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all follow like what do they call that? They're like the deadly dozen, the fruits and vegetables that have the most like pesticides on them that you need to wash. It changed this year, and there's a lot more things on there that I actually eat regularly. So I've been trying to do a really good job of washing all of my stuff. Really good.
Share that because I didn't know that was a thing.
Spinach is on there, and I was like, cool. I never wash spinach. I mean, it looks so nice and clean already in a container. That takes a lot of work to wash that out and kind of let it dry before you use it. But I did do it this week, and strawberries are on there too. And something else surprised me, and I was like, oh, well, dang. Oh, well, anyway, something to look into. Maybe we can do a reel on that.
Oh, yeah.
Be good. Okay. If you're wanting to be extra efficient with your time, consider pre-cooking your veggies to take for lunch during the busy week, like roasting broccoli or Brussels sprouts, and even sauteing some green beans. The last tip to help you increase your fruit and veggie intake is to place them in the fridge where they're easy to see at eye level rather than hiding them in the drawers or in the back of the fridge. Very good tip.
That is a good tip because, like, we have the drawers and they're labeled usually on some refrigerators. It's like fruits and vegetables go here. But then if you put them in there,
they're hidden. When you open the door, yeah. So put them somewhere good. Okay.
Tip number 3 is to cook protein staples to save time. Protein typically takes the most time to cook. That is why we recommend prepping your protein staples ahead of time. This may look like grilling enough meat for a few days or throwing chicken or pork in the crock pot for the week. That's my favorite. Or even baking your favorite proteins to add to lunches for an easy grab and go at the end of the long day. If you're not a fan of reheating meat after a few days of it being cooked, another great option is to cook extra at dinner for tomorrow's lunch. Doing this allows us to create well-balanced meals for the entire busy week. If you do not like reheating meat at all, consider setting yourself up for success by defrosting your meat the day before or after grocery shopping for a few nights and adding it to a marinade. such as a balsamic dressing or another mindful marinade that you enjoy. We say mindful because marinades can be full of a lot of oils, and that's a lot of fat, and that's a lot of calories. So be mindful of that.
Yeah.
This is a time-saving tip, as you know, as you will always know what protein you will be cooking for dinner.
Mhm. Well, what is that saying? Like failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yes.
Yes, it's good. Tip number 4 is to find and save recipes and keep them in your rotation. Then you don't even have to think about it. I have a lot of clients that use our Bandit meal prepping calendar. And they write in, what they're going to have for breakfast every day of the week and what they're going to have for their snack and their lunch and their other snack and their dinner. And then guess what? They have about 4 or 5 of those and they just rotate them. Then you never have to plan again.
I was listening
Make your grocery list off of that.
I was listening to something the other day, and this has been huge for me because I didn't know this was a thing, but it's decision fatigue.
Yeah.
It's where like you don't even have to think. You've already made the decision, so you just have to do it. I was like, that's huge.
Yeah. And you don't get tired of stuff.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. When it comes to planning your grocery shopping, you will need to have an idea of what meals you will be making for the week. One pro tip is to find and save staple recipes the whole family will love that you can keep in a rotation. Rotating recipes and meals is a great way to keep it simple while having a variety in your meals each week. When looking through recipes to plan for, we always want to make sure that they're balanced. So you're always picking a protein, a carbohydrate source, and a fat source to have with you. When we say balance, think about the plate method. That's how you're going to put those things in. The plate method is one of the easiest ways to reshape your plate to ensure you are eating the right fuel to feel your best. The plate method is filling 1/2 of your plate with non-starchy veggies, 1/4 of a plate with lean protein, and 1/4 of your plate with starchy carbs, and with a mindful amount of healthy fat. Look how tiny that little circle is. It's a very small little circle of fat. Like you said, those marinades can get you in trouble because most of them are like 1/2 cup of olive oil. To help you with some ideas, here are our top 3 favorite HSN recipe staples that we keep in the rotation for dinner and lunches. And the other magical thing about that plate method is it keeps you in balance. And you don't even have to worry about logging and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like tracking without tracking.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of my absolute favorite recipes because it only takes 3 ingredients and it feels like it only takes 3 minutes. It is super fast. Egg roll in a bowl, and you can eat it with rice or a mixture of cauliflower rice and rice. It's 3 ingredients. It's packed with protein and veggies that you don't even have to chop. Saves time there. And it keeps you fueled and full. I love having that 90-minute that doesn't even make sense. 90-minute microwavable rice bowls. What is that?
I think it means second.
Certainly 90 seconds. I don't have a microwave in my house because it broke a couple of years ago. My husband thinks that it'll give us cancer if we use it. So we don't have one. So I don't know anything about microwave meals.
You don't have a microwave?
No, ma'am. Probably for not like the past 5 or 6 years.
Oh, wow.
I know. I just have a little toaster oven and I reheat stuff. It tastes so much better in the little toaster oven too, or in the oven.
It does.
It really
does.
So all you do for this egg roll in a bowl is you brown your ground meat. You can use ground turkey or ground chicken, or you could even use a lean ground beef, or I just discovered ground bison this week. That'll be yummy in it. And then once your meat is browned, you add a bag of like that coleslaw mix, or you can use the broccoli slaw, one of the two. And you just saute that until the vegetables are however tender you like them. I mean, like if you want them crunchy, don't leave them in there long, or if you want them really soggy, put them in there for a long time. And then you just add like a tablespoon or whatever the recipe calls for of like liquid aminos or soy sauce, if you can have that. It makes it all up, and that's it. So easy. Recipe number 2
is cheesy beef and broccoli bake. It's another fan favorite, and it's cooked in one dish, and it highlights 2 veggies, cauliflower and broccoli.
And it is really good. It kind of gives me shepherd's pie vibes, if you like shepherd's pie. Yeah, because it has mashed cauliflower on the bottom, and then like your ground beef and the broccoli. Yummy. All right. 3rd recipe is the sun-dried tomato pesto turkey sausage bolognese that you can add over rice, pasta, or spaghetti squash for the staple pasta dinner night. If I remember right, I haven't made this one in a long time, but because if we're having anything spaghetti, we're just using like that simple no sugar rayos and some ground turkey or ground beef and some spaghetti squash, and that's it. But I think this recipe takes a little bit longer to do. So this would be a good one to put on when you're putting your groceries away and just kind of letting it cook while you do all of your chopping and other things. It's good. While we have been talking a lot about recipes for lunch and dinner, let's take just a moment to discuss breakfast. Breakfast is a meal that is often unbalanced, and a lot of people even completely skip breakfast. Like the other meals, we want to make sure that our breakfast has a balance of good whole foods with the energy that we need for the day. Prepping breakfast ahead of time to grab in the busy morning is a great time and money saving tip. Here are 2 recipes you should save to make during your meal prep for breakfast. Let me slide all these things over. Okay.
Double chocolate chip overnight oats. And I have a confession that overnight oats is probably one of my favorites. I just like oats, period. Overnight or baked or whatever. These double chocolate overnight oats are a great breakfast for chocolate lovers. When you block out that time after going to the store, you take a few minutes to throw all the ingredients into a mason jar or a container for the next morning. If you don't mind eating the same breakfast each morning, consider making enough for the entire week. And I will say, like, even though it says overnight oats, it doesn't have to sit overnight. It just has to sit for a few hours. So sometimes I'll make them and like I use them as like a snack. Or if I need something on the go, then that's just what I take with me. It's so easy.
They're so good. The second recipe for breakfast that's easy to prep ahead of time is the egg muffins. Has vegetables in it to help get your day started. This would be another easy recipe to make in that hour after shopping to get your breakfast planned for the week. Eating 2 to 3 egg muffins and some fruit is such a great way to start the day. This recipe makes about 10 egg muffins for the week. They also make a good, sorry, dogs. They also make a great grab and go snack. Just make sure you let them cool all the way before you put them in your refrigerator.
Monica eats egg muffins every single day for breakfast.
Good and easy. You have one of those silicone baking pans. They just pop right out. Yep.
Next up, we have tip number 5 is kitchen gadgets that save time. If time is your biggest constraint, you will for sure love this tip. Kitchen gadgets can cut prep time down to save you lots of times. Here are 4 favorite kitchen gadgets to make your prep easier. Air fryers are a great addition to your kitchen if you don't already have one. They can cook protein sources really, really fast and roast up veggies.
Crock pots are also perfect for meals you made in big batches. You can put the frozen ingredients into the crock pot, and when you get home from a long day, your dinner is ready to eat. I'm just gonna make sure you turn it on.
Yep.
Set it and forget it. Don't forget it to set it.
And then if chopping fruits and veggies seem to take too much time, a mandolin can help to speed up the process. It can be a great way to quickly slice, and it makes them really, really even too. Potatoes, onions, cucumbers, tomatoes, zucchini, cabbage, just about anything. And even those little like chopper things. I have one.
I do.
Super, super handy.
Lastly, food storage containers are one of the most essential meal prep tools. Before purchasing, consider if you will be microwaving or freezing or putting them through the dishwasher. So make sure you choose containers that are going to, the way you're going to use them. Glass ones are a great option if you can find them, because then you can stick them in the oven if you're like me and don't have a microwave. And also if you have like tinfoil ones or whatever, make sure you don't stick those in the microwave, obviously. But I think before we move on to the well-stocked pantry, while we were talking about kitchen gadgets, I think that that's my biggest tip for meal prepping is to utilize all of the cooking devices that you have kind of at the same time, because that way you can have, it does make cleanup, but if you use tinfoil or like if you're doing your crock pot and you have those liners or what have you, and I'm always using like my crock pot, something on top of the stove, something in the oven, something in the air fryer. while I'm cooking and chopping and all of those kinds of things, just trying to have as much going at one time as I can, because then it reduces, something that could take 3 or 4 hours to usually being able to get it done in an hour. And then you just put your kids to work on the, like, look, I got your lunches ready for the week. You clean the dishes. We
Yeah.
fine. Okay. So tell us about a pantry, Dina.
Tip number 6 is keeping a well-stocked pantry. Maintaining a stock of pantry items is a great way to streamline your meal prep process and simplify your menu. Some great things to keep in your pantry would be whole grains, canned goods, oil, stocks, broth, and baking essentials, such as mixed nuts, dried fruit, and nut butter. Keeping the basics on hand will keep you from running out to the store for that one thing that you need for the recipe. We've been there. Consider buying pantry staples in bulk to get more bang for your buck. Herbs and spices are a great way to change up meals while still using the same veggies or protein sources each week. Did you know that herbs and spices are rich in, how do you say that? Phytochemicals that help to fight inflammation and reduce the damage to your body cells. Experiment with different spices to find the flavors that you can be excited about. A lot of times I'll tell people like to cook your protein plain. You're gonna, if you don't like to eat the same thing every day, because you can always change up, like if you use like teriyaki sauce or liquid aminos or whatever spices you add to it, you can have a completely different dish every single day if you cook your protein plain.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good tip. Also, that egg roll in a bowl is an easy recipe to change up the flavors in. Like, instead of using the liquid aminos, using like taco seasoning and water on your meat. And somebody else told me some other flavor that they had used for that. Oh, I think like a barbecue chicken, like over ground chicken instead of the ground turkey with a little bit of barbecue in it. Is good. And also, like, I do hamburger bowls a lot, just like season my ground meat like you would a hamburger, salt, pepper, garlic, that kind of stuff. And put it with vegetables or salad is good. Anyways, easy things. To find all of those recipes that we've talked about today and more, be sure to check out our recipes found on our website. We have a ton of breakfast recipes, a ton of lunch recipes, dinner recipes. There's even vegetarian dishes, as well as side dishes, and even a few treats. There's something for everyone, and they're all kid-friendly too.
Next up, we have our HSN principles. There's 3 of them. We always want to try to focus on whole foods first. Meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, fruit, little starch, and no sugar. So that's what kind of why we say you always want to primarily shop the perimeter of the store. Number 2 is focus on balance of macronutrients. You want to have a balance of protein, carbs, and fats with your meals and snacks. Typically, it's 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fats, but those vary kind of based on the individual. And number 3 is we want to limit the amount of processed carbohydrates and sugar.
For sure. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons. That's 24 grams for women and 9 teaspoons for men, 36 grams. However, the average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar each year, and that's 46 teaspoons per day if you average that out. So most Americans are eating way more sugar than they need to be, and probably much more than they even realize that they're having, because it's in so much packaged foods. So another good reason to shop the perimeter of the grocery store for sure.
Just pay a little bit more attention to your food labels, because there's a lot of sneaky stuff in there.
Yeah, and one thing too, when you're reading your food labels, I get this question a lot. Like, people are looking at the first, like, your nutrition facts, and they're looking at sugars and like added sugars. And so one tip for that is, that's good to look at sugars, and especially the added sugars, but things that have like fruit in it are going to have naturally occurring sugars. And that's not the kind of sugars that we're worried about. We're worried about those added sugars. And so then if there is added sugars, you want to look down at the ingredients list and see what kind of sugar it is. Like, is it actually sugar, or is it one of the 400 like words for hidden sugar that's just a chemical that we definitely want to avoid? Because there's a lot of research lately on these, like the stevias and the erythritols and the aspartame and sucralose and all those kinds of things. And yucky stuff that we don't want. So anyhow, be paying attention to that. So we'll go through some frequently asked questions real quick, and then we're almost done.
So question number 1 is, what if I'm not a great cook? Look, we all weren't born chefs in the kitchen. The key to building your confidence is to be consistent and get in reps. Just like anything in life, the more you practice, the better you get. Start off with easy recipes like egg roll in a bowl, which only takes a few ingredients, and make sure that you have the right kitchen gadgets and the options to get the job done. For example, have you ever tried cooking rice on the stovetop as it is traditionally done, only to end up burning it? Me. Such a confidence crusher, not to mention a surefire way to increase your frustration before dinner. Try cooking rice in an Instapot or even a grab and go 90-second microwavable rice when shopping. As you start to build confidence with simple recipes, slowly start adding to incorporate the recipes that use a few more ingredients. The great thing about consistency is you will start to see progress toward your goals. And did you know that what brings motivation? Success.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Another frequently asked questions, I get this all the time. What if I don't like vegetables? Maybe you feel this way, but I want to challenge and ask you, what if you just actually haven't found the way that you like them? Because typically, like, we think back to our childhood of like your mom boiling Brussels sprouts. And like, of course you don't like boiled Brussels sprouts because that's gross and it tastes like snot. But what have you ever roasted them? Just about any vegetable tastes better roasted, in my opinion, because it gives kind of a nice crunch rather than being soggy or, just wet feeling. And you can even sneak vegetables into recipes or smoothies as well. We have a recipe on the website for, I think it's called like a strawberry shortcake smoothie that has rice and cauliflower in it. And even though cauliflower isn't green, it's like the albino vegetable. It counts as a green vegetable.
Yep.
Fun fact. So where should they start?
One thing at a time. When you focus on one thing, you'll be 80% more successful to maintain that one thing. When focusing on two things, you are less than 30% successful to maintain that one thing. And focusing on 3 things or more, you will be less than 5% successful. What's standing out to you most in the 6 tips? Is it blocking out time after shopping? Is it pre-washing and chopping fruits and vegetables? Is it cooking your protein ahead of time? Is it saving those staple recipes? Is it getting all the kitchen gadgets? Or keeping an organized and stock pantry? Maybe you're thinking all of that sounds great, but I really need support and accountability. Well, that's exactly what we offer our nutrition coaching for. We work one-on-one with an expert. You will work one-on-one with an expert coach, me or Jennifer, to set goals and create a plan focusing on one thing at a time. And the HSN coach will keep you accountable to your goals. The personalized support and accountability are what really sets this program apart. And getting started is really easy. You can book a free intro, sign up and create a plan, have support and accountability from us, and then become the best and healthiest version of yourself.
Yay! Yay! The Healthy Steps nutrition program that we follow has helped over 30,000 people around the world take control of their health. And I just wanted to share a couple of their stories with you today. And then I also have a couple of our Bandit Nutrition rock stars and some awesome success that they have had. Another free resource for y'all is this Nutrition Made Simple. Oh my gosh, I just messed up our slides. Not where y'all can see it, but I messed up myself. It's a Nutrition Made Simple podcast. I think there's about 70 or so episodes out right now, and they kind of come out sporadically, but there are some great ones, and there's a lot of good information in there, and also a lot of good stories, that's just kind of helpful and motivating to see, somebody else can do it. Find somebody that's like you. If they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. It takes a village.
Absolutely. And it's a journey. It's not a, like when you're losing weight or you're getting healthy, it's not like this straight line. It's like we have good times and we have bad times and we have good times and we have bad times. So, having a buddy and some accountability along the way is key. So I did fix this. This is what was taking me so long to get on the call today, because
I thought it was me.
Well, also I opened the wrong meeting, apparently some wrong link, but I was like, Dina, are you there? And she's like, yes, but no, you're not. We're in two different Zoom rooms. Who even knew? We have a new website. And so I know that a couple of things are not on there yet. I'm not even 100% positive that all of our recipes are there. I know that our blogs are not there. They're in the process of being uploaded. But I did make sure that this link works if you want to schedule a free intro. And if you ever click into one of those things and you don't see times available, then certainly just send us a message and we'll figure out how to get you in. Okay. Anybody that's on here live with us have any questions? Johnetta was being like a star student. I could see her like making her food and like prepping while we were talking about meal prepping. She was slicing some vegetables or something.
Look at her go.
I know.
Monica's on here, but she has she's muted.
She's blacked out. She's probably at work.
Yeah.
But this will, if you're watching this live and you want to ever share it with anybody, it will be on our website eventually whenever we get the permissions and our blog gets put back up or what have you, we'll get it there. If you registered for this and you're not watching it, I guess you can't hear me anyways, but we'll get a copy sent to you so you don't have to wait on the blog. But Dina, you have anything else?
Nope, some good tips today.
Any tips that we didn't talk about today that you use?
I don't think so.
I think my biggest one is the gadgets. I think when I realized like, oh, I can do multiple things at one time, made a big difference for me. And I try to keep that in mind in my planning too. Like what's one thing that I can put on the oven? It's one thing that I can put in, you know, the Instant Pot or the crock pot, the air fryer, sauteing, that kind of stuff. I just try to have multiple things going.
My biggest thing is I like to cook bigger dinners and just have that the next day instead of, because I dig out of it, the husband digs out of it, the kids dig out of it. So it's just easier just to have leftovers.
Yep. Especially during the busy seasons. Okay, well, I'm going to end this. Maybe. Stop sharing. Oh, look, now all our people are back.